program history. The Broncs went to Texas Southern on Monday and a chance to make it the second best start alone. Broncs fell 1-3, and a match that Coach Yale is going to talk about a little later on in the pre-match. Or unfortunately, the depth was tested, and for the first time all year, some injuries crept up. Only one that should really affect the rotation at all today. Coach Yale will talk about that a little later as well. And while it did stop the Broncs march to 11 non-conference wins, hey, 10 is nothing to sneeze at going into the start of Western Athletic Conference play. The Broncs already have as many wins as they did all of last year, and the next win will give them their winningest season since 2007 when the Broncs won 15-18. Including today, the Broncs have a minimum of 17 matches remaining and possibly as many as 26. The Broncs certainly hope it's 26. That means they're playing for the NCAA championship in Seattle on December 21st. Well, in that match, Broncs took the first set 25-22, and second match was tight, second set rather was tight, dropped 26-24, and then 25-22, 25-20 went the other two for the Tigers. Junior Krista Freitas recorded her first double-double of the season with a season-high 11 kills and 10 digs, fifth of her career in terms of double-doubles. Senior Nicole Masaki posted her third double-double of the season with a 35 assist, 14 dig, and career-high 6-kill performance. It was the eighth double-double of her career. The Broncs actually, statistically speaking, they finished with more kills, service aces, and blocks than the Tigers, but also made more attack errors and service errors, and really that was the difference in the match. But the Broncs come in today to take on the New Mexico State Aggies, a team that picked first in the preseason WAC poll, the coaches poll, a team that won last year's Western Athletic Conference and went to the NCAA tournament, a team that is also 5-8, but a team that has played a challenging schedule, including matches against 9th-ranked Hawaii and 10th-ranked UCLA, coming off of a 2-3 loss at home against New Mexico 5 days ago. Both teams, their first WAC match of the season. 6 other teams opened up WAC play on Thursday. We'll tell you how it went a little later on in the Broncs pre-match. But right now we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll chat with Broncs head coach Brian Yale. This is Broncs Volleyball.
When it came to delivering my baby, I chose hospital at Renaissance.
We're the only hospital dedicated exclusively for women in the Valley.
Everything here has been designed with mothers and babies in mind.
Classes in childbirth, nutrition, and beautiful private rooms.
The highest nurse-to-patient ratio in the Valley.
We deliver miracles every day.
Mika, this is our miracle.
The Women's Hospital at Renaissance. World-class healthcare here at home.
Dr. Pena, does LASIK surgery work?
LASIK surgery is America's most frequently performed elective procedure. In fact, I've helped thousands of patients see better.
Dr. Pena.
Call me Raulito.
Thousands and thousands. Raulito, are you sure?
Is that thing on?
Yes.
Follow me. I had to put him somewhere. It's a big project.
That's a lot of successful operations. Call Dr. Raulito Pena at 661-UC.
The phone keeps ringing.
You to come see us today at your new Buick GMC dealer, South Texas Buick GMC.
Come test drive the all-new 2014 GMC Sierra and drive it home for just $399 a month.
South Texas Buick GMC.
Brave and bold, silver and gold.
We're on a mission.
Aggie up.
Join the herd. Lopes up.
Bold moves, big season, grew up.
We are the new gold standard.
We will be champions.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
Brave and bold, silver and gold.
Welcome back to Broncs pre-match. It's the Coach's Corner. Jonah Goldberg with Broncs head coach Brian Yale. And Coach, you're coming off of the Texas Southern
Brave and bold, silver and
honestly, we got through preseason pretty healthy, and we got hit with the injury bug this week, which is unfortunate timing for us, but everybody goes through it during the course of the season. We'll have to make some adjustments going into today, but it's another day, another match, and we're going to go out and compete just like any other day.
Luckily, this is of your 3 years, this is the year you've had the most depth. So what kind of adjustments do you have to make today?
Some minor ones, just a few more defensive adjustments, things like that. We're a little bit thin on the outside right now, but we've tested some other people throughout the course of the week out there. We'll just kind of see what works. Well, you come into today, it's finally here, the first WAC match. Folks coming in early, Military Appreciation Day too, expecting a big crowd. And what does it mean to you to finally be here for the first WAC match? It means that in a few hours it's finally going to be over. To be honest, I've seen it in the locker room today. We've been a little bit tight just because of maybe the extra emphasis that's been put on it by everybody else. Not that we've necessarily put it on, but we know it's here. We know it's a day that a lot of people have been looking forward to, and we have as well. But it's another match. It's one of 16 within the conference, and so we've got to treat it like any other day. And you also know that it's against the defending WAC champions and the preseason favorite, New Mexico State. It's a big test for us, but it's a good test for us. So we'll take it in stride and we'll do what we can. We've got a game plan against them. We know it'll work if we'll stick to it, and we've just got to go battle. Everybody's going to beat everybody on any given night, and we saw that with Thursday night's results. That it's going to be a test all season long. So we get a big one to begin with, but I'm looking forward to it. What is the game plan? Win. I like that. There's some areas of their defense we can attack. They're going to be a big block, but we need to be offensive. We need to beat that block and get it past their front line. And if we can do that, they'll struggle a little bit with ball control. They'll make some errors along the way, and we'll keep ourselves in the match. But if we go and try and challenge their strong block all night long, then we may be in a little bit of trouble. Is it nice to know that you're opening WAC play, but you're opening it at home with 4 straight for the first time all year? Home is nice. Home is always nice. We've been on the road a ton during preseason. The month of October is going to be another road battle for us. But to get 2 weeks at home is important for the girls. Number one, they can get their academics on the ground, and so they're not stressed out as much about that, which plays into it when it comes out on the court. So we've had a week to do that, and now we can just go out and play volleyball. Yeah, I guess you're not that far away from midterms already. Just another thing to deal with. It's creeping up fast, and there's a lot on these athletes, not just our sport, but any sport. But we started on the road basically 4 straight weeks, and so now to have that time at home, they can get settled, they can prepare for those midterms, and we can enjoy sleeping in our own beds. Well, the band is here. They're warming up as we do this, and they were here last week against Incarnate Word. They're going to be here for most, if not all, the rest of the matches. How much does it help to have them out here? It's a great environment. They provide some energy in the gym, some excitement, some electricity, and we need that. We can't provide it all ourselves. We need them to help out. We need everybody to be involved, from the fans to the band to the support staff. We need everybody to take their own ownership in this program. We know we can't do it ourselves. We don't want to do it ourselves. We want to share the wealth, and so it's important to have everybody in here. An extra special day with Military Appreciation Day. That's special as well. That's important. They're going to be here with the national anthem and everything. They're showing colors, and that's good. That's like I said, we want to share it with everybody, and we're glad they're here. All right, Coach, thanks a lot and good luck. All right, thank you. Bronx head coach Brian Yale, that'll do it for Bronx pre-match. We'll take a time out. More next. This is Bronx Volleyball.
Brave and bold, silver and gold.
We're on a mission.
Aggie up.
Bronx Country just got a whole lot bigger.
Mighty Wolverines of UVU.
Join the herd. Lopes up.
Big season, grew up.
We are the new gold standard.
We will be champions.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
When it came to delivering my baby, I chose the Women's Hospital at Renaissance.
We're the only hospital dedicated exclusively for women in the Valley.
Everything here has been designed with mothers and babies in mind.
Classes in childbirth, nutrition, and beautiful private rooms.
The highest nurse-to-patient ratio in the Valley.
Deliver miracles every day.
Me. This is our miracle.
The Women's Hospital at Renaissance. World-class healthcare here at home.
Dr. Pena, does LASIK surgery work?
LASIK surgery work as most people prefer the elective procedure. In fact, I've seen thousands of patients see better.
Dr. Pena.
Told me Raulito.
Thousands and thousands. Raulito, you sure?
Is that thing?
Yes.
Follow me. I had to put him somewhere. It's a big project.
A lot of successful operations. Call Dr. Rolito Pena at 661-UC.
The phone keeps ringing. Gotta make room.
I want you to come see us today at your new Buick GMC dealer, South Texas Buick GMC.
Come test drive the all-new 2014 GMC Sierra and drive it home for just $399 a month.
South Texas being GMC.
Well, it's finally here, the start of Western Athletic Conference play, the first ever WAC event in UTPA Bronx history. And the New Mexico State Aggies are being introduced onto the court right now. Before we get you to starters, let's take a look at the WAC standings. Bakersfield, Kansas City, Utah Valley all 1-0. Idaho, Grand Canyon, Seattle 0-1. UTPA, New Mexico State, Chicago State playing their first WAC matches of the season today. Well, New Mexico State starters. The libero is a 5'8" redshirt senior out of Tucson, number 15, Stephanie Ziegler. The setter, a 5'10" senior out of Fort Myers, Florida, number 10, Sierra Brown. In the middle, a 6'2" senior out of Tucson, Arizona, number 14, Desiree Scott, and a 6'2" redshirt sophomore out of Ephrata, Arizona, number 23, Gwen Murphy. And on the outside, a 6-foot redshirt sophomore out of Cayenta, Arizona, number 9, Bradley Nash. A 5'11" freshman out of Victorville, California, number 12, Alicia Coates. And a 5'9" sophomore out of San Antonio, number 13, Nathalie Castellanos. Head coach of the Aggies in his 16th season is Mike Jordan, assisted by Keith Rubio, Ben Wallace, Trisha Wright, Kelsey Phillips, and Jack Parker Jr. The Aggies enter this match with a record of 5-8. They lost last time out, 0-2 on the road this season, 1-3 in neutral sites for an aggregate 1-5 away from the Fieldhouse record. As for the starters for the University of Texas Pan American Bronx, there'll be a change in the starting lineup today. De'Ara Reynolds is out. She is in street clothes today. So, the starters look like this. At right side, a 5'9" freshman out of Round Rock, Texas, number 2, Alicia Watson. At setter, a 5'6" senior out of Kano, Hawaii, number 3, tri-captain Nicole Masaki. At libero, a 5'6" junior out of Kingwood, number 7, Nausheen Merchant. At outside hitter, a 6-foot freshman out of Harker Heights, number 9, Anjane Janda. At setter, a 6-foot, or I guess defensive specialist really, a 6-foot redshirt sophomore out of Flower Mound, number 10, Macy Singleton. At outside hitter, a 6-foot junior out of Lanai, Hawaii, number 12, Krista Freitas. And at middle blocker, a 6-foot sophomore out of Honolulu, Hawaii, number 14, Haley Durham. Head coach of the Bronx in his 3rd season is Mr. Brian Yale. He's assisted by Cameron Sittler and Ashley Christensen. The Bronx enter this match with a record of 10-6. It is their first ever WAC contest.
The University of Texas Pan American, the Western Athletic Conference, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We encourage you
So both teams have gathered now. The Bronx set up on the right side. They have huddled around, and the Aggies on the left. The Bronx in their home white tops with the green numerals on the front and on the back, and the green shorts, the libero wearing a green top. The word UTPA below the number, and the WAC patch on the left shoulder. Nike patch on the right shoulder. The Aggies in their road maroon tops with the black numbers and white trim on the front and on the back. New Mexico State on 2 lines on the back above the number. Little white trim around the neck area on the front. Black shorts. Both teams wearing the black knee pads and the black sneakers.
Serving for UTPA, number 10, Macy Singleton.
Macy Singleton with the opening serve for UTPA. Bronx will vary who they go with on their opening serve, but Singleton always a good decision. Singleton second in the WAC and 132nd in the NCAA in aces per set at .36. And at 2:08 p.m., the first WAC serve in UTPA history is sent over and then sent right down by New Mexico State. And the Aggies take the quick 1-0 lead.
Ace for New Mexico State.
And New Mexico State picks up the ace, and the Aggies quickly up 2-0. Serving for New Mexico State is Bradley Nash. Nash, that was her 11th ace of the season. Janda on the attack with the kill! And the Bronx first point in WAC history goes to Anjane Janda, the freshman. And the Bronx within 2-1. Well, Alicia Watson goes to serve now. Watson gets airborne left hand. Sends up in the air to the left side. There's the attack. Thrown up by Freitas. Front row Masaki. There's Janda right in front. She's slammed at the net. Give the block to the Aggies, and it's 3-1. Desiree Scott now, or check that. Lauren Lorick back to serve for New Mexico State. Lorick, 2.76 kills per set, leads the Aggies. She also averages 1.86 digs per set and half a block. Really good all-around player. Misaki sets it up. Freitas with a little floater, and it's kept up by the Aggies. To the left side, that's Coates. Merchant, Misaki. There's Durham on the outside. Put up by Brown. Third hit by the Aggies into the net. Bronx within 1, it's 3-2. It is loud today at the UTPA Fieldhouse. Another strong crowd on hand. On Military Appreciation Day. The quick kill for New Mexico State, and it's 4-2. Before the match, the UTPA Army ROTC presented the colors, handled the national anthem. Now they're taking up about the first 3.5 rows of Section C behind me and to the left. Taylor Lavati back to serve for New Mexico State. Masaki sets it up. That's Freitas on the attack. Lavati keeps it up. Back row attack. Vargas. Masaki. There's Durham. Kept up by Lavati. Now on the outside, there's the little floater. Merchant gets in there. Masaki tosses it over herself. Lavati that first hit again. Now at the net, it's set up and nobody there. It's 5-2 Aggies.
Now playing for New Mexico State, number 8, Presley Alexander.
Taylor Lavati back to serve for New Mexico State. Durham on the second hit sends it over. First hit Lavati, second hit Nash. Comes over and Bronx can't get that one, so it's 6-2. The Aggies went to the NCAA tournament last year. They won the WAC championship. Preseason favorite. Faison sets it up for Freitas. Her attack is kept alive by New Mexico State on the outside, and that's out of Merchant's reach and into the stands. And it's 7-2 Aggies. Well, if there's a target on the Bronx backs for having the best non-conference record in the conference, that one served into the net. Bronx within 4. New Mexico State, the defending champs, who are at the bottom or towards the bottom of the non-conference standings, which at the end of the day don't mean a whole lot in terms of the conference, because conference standings are what determine what 6 teams make the conference tourney and what seeds they get. A kill for New Mexico State, 8-3. And we talked about it with Coach Yale a little last week, or who's got the target on their back? Is it the Bronx or is it New Mexico State? New Mexico State won the championship last year. They went to the tourney. They're the preseason favorite. But the Bronx got off to the hottest start in the WAC. So who's got the target? And came up with the answer, probably both. Kleefolk on the outside, blocks net, but it goes out of bounds. That's a point for the Bronx. It's 8-4. Nicole Masaki back to serve for UTPA. She's a strong server as well, has come up with her fair share of aces. Masaki gets airborne with a jump float. There's the attack. Masaki. First hit, Faison, second hit. Freitas gets it over. Over the block, diving Faison. Masaki gets it up. Freitas from the back row has to send it in. Mexico State on the outside, sends it out. Bronx within 3, it's 8-5. Masaki back to serve again for UTPA. Scrapes the net, not returned. Service ace Nicole Masaki. Bronx within 2, it's 8-6. Well, if you could serve it like that every single time. Of course, the danger is you serve it low, it could go into the net, but that's the perfect one, and you can just scrape it. Masaki back to serve again. This one put up by the Aggies. On the outside, blocked! Kleefolk and Watson! 3 straight for UTPA, it's 8-7.
Entering the game for New Mexico State, number 13, Natalie Castellanos. Serving for UTPA,
Nicole Masaki back to serve for the Bronx. Trying to tie it up. Sends it in. First hit goes straight up. Now in the middle towards the left side. Freitas the first hit. Masaki the setup. Watson on the outside. And that one is not coming back. We are tied at 8. Bronx have scored 4 straight on Masaki's serve. The senior tri-captain. Jump float. Just over the net. Second hit goes away from the net. But the Aggies do get it over. Freitas on the attack. And there's the... Oh, it's kept alive by the Aggies, but a block in the net by Kleefolk and Watson. Kept alive again. The Aggies, all sorts of out of proportion, trying to make something out of nothing. Freitas on the attack sends it out. And the Aggies take a 9-8 lead. Give New Mexico State credit on that one. There were at least 2 different points where it looked for sure that that point was over, and they wouldn't let it end. Saki tried to send it over, got tapped in the net. Point Bronx tied at 9. Janae Jonda back in with Watson and Kleefolk in the front row. It's Merchant Basaki in the back row along with Freitas, who's back to serve. Match tied at 9. Bronx trying to take their first lead. And they do! Service ace! Krista Freitas! 10-9! Strong serving today by the Bronx. Freitas serving flat-footed. She serves it out. And that ties it up at 10.
Point, New Mexico State.
Well, the Bronx were able to hold up against an early New Mexico State onslaught, and now everything is even. We're tied at 10 here in the opening set. A battle of the top team in the WAC and the top team from last year. Bronx, the only team with double-digit wins in the WAC. John just has it over. Gets past the block. Masaki sticks out the left hand. John on the attack. Pushed up in the air by Ziegler. And this one heads out. The Bronx have the lead again. It's 11-10. Maria Kleefolk back to serve. She had one of the more memorable aces of last week's Houston Tillotson match. This one heads out. 11-11.
Point, New Mexico State.
Well, New Mexico State will get the serve back with Bradley Nash. It's her second serve of the match. Nash gets it over the net. Watson. Masaki. There's John on the left. Did that hit the line? Point! UTPA! New Mexico State head coach Mike Jordan unhappy with the call. The Bronx take a 12-11 lead. That means Watson back to serve. Masaki on the first hit, Merchant the second hit, John on the attack, block to the net. Desiree Scott in on that, and I think maybe Lauren Lurch might have been on the second hitter. Or Lurch, excuse me. Lurch now heads back to serve. Match tied at tied at 12. Bronx just have to get it over. The attack stays in. And the Aggies take the lead back at 13-12. An intense set thus far. Just a few points away from a media timeout. Both of these teams could probably use a break. As Durham goes right down the line! We're tied at 13!
Entering the game for New Mexico State, number 15, Stephanie Ziegler.
So Jonda back to serve for UTPA. Trying to give the Bronx the lead back again. Blocked! Durham! Masaki! 14-13 UTPA. Jonda back to serve again. Trying to give the Bronx a 2-point lead for the first time, but she serves it out.
Point, New Mexico
Tied at
State.
14.
Substitution
New Mexico State makes a sub. Presley Alexander is in. And Natalie Castellanos takes a seat. Castellanos, excuse me. Castellanos.
And number 2, Taylor Levodi. Now serving number 2, Taylor Levodi.
Taylor Levodi back to serve for New Mexico State. Faison, Masaki. There's Freitas on the attack, and she gets it! 15-14 UTPA as we hit our first media timeout. We'll be right back. Bronx with the advantage. This is Bronx Volleyball.
When it came to delivering my baby, I chose the Women's Hospital at Renaissance.
We're the only hospital dedicated exclusively for women in the Valley.
Everything here has been designed with mothers and babies in mind.
Classes in childbirth, nutrition, and beautiful private rooms.
The highest nurse-to-patient ratio in the Valley.
Deliver miracles.
This is our miracle.
The Women's Hospital at Renaissance. World-class healthcare here at home.
Dr. Pena, does LASIK surgery work?
Surgery is America's most frequently performed elective procedure. In fact, I've helped thousands of patients get better.
Dr. Pena.
Raulito.
Thousands and thousands. Raulito, are you sure?
Is that thing on?
Yes.
Follow me. I have to put him somewhere. It's a big project.
That's a lot of successful operations. Call Dr. Rolito Pena at 661-UC.
The phone keeps ringing. Gotta make room.
Welcome back out to the UTPA Fieldhouse. John Goldberg riding with you. Bronx up 15-14 in the first set. Nausheen Merchant serving. Block at the net. Maria Clifo, Nicole Masaki. It's their second in a row. And for the first time today, the Bronx have themselves a 2-point lead at 16-14. Nausheen Merchant back to serve for the Bronx. And New Mexico State answer rights back at 16-15. If this set is a precursor of what's to come, we are going to see an amazing match. Alicia Coates back to serve for New Mexico State. Faison on the first hit, Masaki the second hit. Kleefolk on the attack with the kill! 17-15 UTPA.
Entering the game for UTPA, number 2, Alicia Watson. Serving is number 3, Nicole Masaki.
Alicia Watson back in for the Bronx. Nicole Masaki back to serve. Jump float. First hit sends it high in the air towards press row. Second hit brings it back towards the net. A back row attack. And Faison can't do anything with that as she went diving for it. And it ends up beyond the stands and out at 17-16. Lauren Lurch back in for New Mexico State. Stephanie Ziegler ready to serve it up. And it goes out, 18-16.
Now in the game for UTPA, number 9, Anjane Janda.
Anjane Janda back in for the Bronx with Watson and Kleefolk in the front row. Masaki Merchant back row with Freitas back to serve. Goes flat-footed. First hit comes to the front, an ear block, and now a real block by Watson, but kept alive. Set up by Lavati. And now it heads out and into the seats. And New Mexico State gets the point. It's 18-17. Sierra Brown back to serve for New Mexico State. Freitas on one knee. Masaki sets it up. There's Watson with the left hand. Yes! 19-17 Bronx.
Substitution for UTPA, number 10, Mason Singleton, and number 4.
In front of another really great crowd at the UTPA Fieldhouse. Macy Singleton back to serve. And that one drops right in front of her. 19-18. Bucky goes running behind us with a big UTPA flag, gets the fans more energized. Jonda, Masaki, and Durham in the front row for the Bronx. Merchant, Masaki, Durham sends it over. Second hit for New Mexico State comes to the outside to Scott. Masaki, there's Jonda on the attack. Yes! 2018. The Bronx are 5 points away from taking their first ever WAC set. Watson. Put up by the Aggies. Back row attack comes to Freitas. Masaki. Durham. Yes! 21-18. The Bronx have their first 3-point advantage of the set. Time out! Aggies! We'll take one as well. The Bronx are closing in on a 1-set lead. This is Bronx Volleyball.
I want you to come see us today at your new Buick GMC dealer, South Texas Buick GMC.
Come test the all-new 2014 GMC Sierra and drive it home for just $399 a month.
South Texas Buick GMC.
Welcome back out to the UTPA Fieldhouse. Jonah Goldberg riding with you. We're 4 points away from the Bronx taking a 1-set lead. 21-18. Bronx serving with Alicia Watson.
Serving for UTPA, number 2, Alicia Watson.
Watson gets airborne and serves it out. 21-19.
Point, New Mexico State. Now in for New Mexico State, number 23, Gwen Murphy. And for the UTPA Bronx, number 5, Angelica Vargas.
Lauren Lurch back to serve for New Mexico State. Durham on the outside, blocked to the net, and it goes out. 22-19.
Point, UTPA Bronx.
Jonda takes a seat, phase on in to serve.
Now serving number 1, Shanice Faison.
She's got the back row with Angelica Vargas and Nosheen Merchant. It's Freitas, Durham, Masaki on the front, and Durham and Masaki combined for the third block of the match. 23-19. You can feel it. This crowd can feel it. Faison back to serve, flat-footed. First hit goes up towards the official. Third hit gets over. Faison dives to keep it up. Masaki sets it up. Here comes Freitas. Hits it out. 23-20. Lavoti back to serve for New Mexico State. Bodie bounces the ball a few times. Now she gets airborne. Vargas on the first hit. Masaki the second hit. Durham from the outside. And New Mexico State just gets it back. Masaki sends it over. And that one's into the net. It's set point for the Bronx. And Nausheen Merchant goes back to serve to try and give the Bronx a 1-0 match lead. 24-20 Bronx. Merchant. The attack gets over the block. Faison. Masaki to Freitas. Yes! The Bronx take their first ever WAC set. It's 1-0. We'll take a timeout as we get ready for set number 2. This is Bronx Volleyball.
Swinging a liner past the third baseman into left field, the base hit. Bronx win.
Brave and bold, silver and gold.
We're on a mission.
Aggie up.
Bronx country just got a whole lot bigger.
Mighty Wolverines of UVU.
Join the herd. What's up?
We are the new gold standard.
We will be champions.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
When it came to delivering my baby, I chose the Women's Hospital at Renaissance.
We're the only hospital dedicated exclusively for women in the Valley.
Everything here has been designed with mothers and babies in mind.
Classes in childbirth, nutrition, and beautiful private rooms.
The highest nurse-to-patient ratio in the Valley.
We deliver miracles every day.
Mika, this is our miracle.
The Women's Hospital at Renaissance. World-class healthcare here at home.
Welcome back out to the UTPA Fieldhouse. Sean Goldberg riding with you. For those of you who've been attempting to follow along on our live stats and have been coming up empty, it looks like we've got them fixed now. I'm staring at them right now. Looks like we've been working on it throughout the match. I'm not entirely sure what the issue was, but I do know it's fixed. So there's that. If you want to follow our live stats, there is a link up on UTPABronx.com that'll take you to the live stats. So you can follow along and see how all the statistical leaders are doing. We'll try and catch you up on a few of those right here during the broadcast. Second set ready to get underway right now, though. New Mexico State serving, the Bronx returning with Jonda. Now it's on the side that's nearer to me, so you can see Lavati, and then Merchant gets down on one knee. There's Kleefolk. Setting it up, Lavati, and now on the attack, Nash. Watson, yes! And the Bronx take a 1-0 lead. Well, the summary looks a little like this. The Bronx have really spread out the kills. Watson, Jonda, Durham all with 3. Freitas and Kleefolk with 2 each. 2 service aces, 1 for Freitas, 1 for Masaki. Masaki also with 12 assists, 4 digs. Now with this, 4 blocks. That's got to be a career high. She's assisted on at least 3 Kleefolk blocks. Or check, yes, 3 Durham blocks. All 3 of Durham blocks, actually. And the Bronx take a 2-0 lead. So the senior tri-captain Masaki has been coming up big so far. On New Mexico State side, 3 kills for Coates and Murphy to lead the squad, 2 for Lurch, and 1 each for Nash, Scott, and Alexander. 7 digs for Levati, and 6 assists for Brown, 2 blocks for Scott, and that's a look at your leaders. Block at the net, kept up by Durham, but that's not getting back over. New Mexico State gets the point. It's 2-1.
Entering the game for UTPA, number 7, Nasheen Merchant.
So let's reset you on what the Bronx have out there. It's Jonda, Masaki, and Durham in the front. Freitas, Merchant, Watson in the back. Back to serve now for New Mexico State is Nash. She's out there in the back row with Levati and Jordan Reefsteck. As the Aggies tied up at 2-2. Up in the front row right now are Stephanie Ziegler, Gwen Murphy, and Lauren Lurch. Nash serving. Merchant first hit. Misaki second hit. Watson floats it over for the kill. 3-2 Bronx. Well, give New Mexico State all sorts of props from the season they've had. They had last year, and they make the NCAA tournament, the preseason favorites, and the Bronx now at 10-6, trying to make it 11-6 and win their first ever WAC match. Vargas, Freitas on the outside. It comes to Jonda. Now on the near side, New Mexico State return, kept up by Merchant, and nobody there for the second hit. So the Aggies go up 4-3. Aggies back to serve with Reefsteck. Masaki sets it up with Jonda. Reefsteck on the first hit. Set up by Levati. Back to the outside. There's the attack and the kill for New Mexico State. It's 5-3. Bronx get the point. It's 5-4 New Mexico State.
Point, New Mexico State.
And it's 6-4.
Serving for New Mexico State, number 24, Lauren Lurch.
Vargas has it hit off her hands, off the serve, so that ends up being an ace for Lurch. But New Mexico State out to a 7-4 lead. Remember, they took a commanding lead in the first set as well. Early on, it was 7-2. Vargas, Masaki, Freitas with the kill, and it's 7-5.
Point UTPA.
Merchant back to serve for UTPA. There's the setup and the right-handed hit by Scott. New Mexico State up 8-5. Nash comes up with the kill, and it's 9-5 Aggies. And the Broncs call for timeout. We'll take one as well. The Broncs down 4 in the second set. You're watching Broncs Volleyball.
When it came to delivering my baby, I chose the Women's Hospital at Renaissance.
We're the only hospital dedicated exclusively for women in the Valley.
Everything here has been designed with mothers and babies in mind.
Classes in childbirth, nutrition, and beautiful private rooms.
The highest nurse-to-patient ratio in the Valley.
We deliver miracles every day.
Nika, this is our miracle.
Dr. Pena, does LASIK surgery work?
LASIK surgery is America's most frequently performed elective procedure. In fact, I've helped thousands of patients see that.
Dr. Pena.
Call me Raulito.
Thousands and thousands. Raulito, are you sure?
Is that thing on?
Yes.
Follow me. I had to put him somewhere. It's a big project.
That's a lot of successful operations. Call Dr. Raulito Pena. UC.
Make room.
Stephanie Ziegler on the serve for New Mexico State. She serves it right out. And the Broncs back on the board. It's 9-6.
Serving for UTPA, number 3, Nicole Masaki.
Masaki serves for UTPA, but it's sent right back over by Desiree Scott. And New Mexico State has a 10-6 lead. Masaki. Freitas blocked at the net, and that one's not coming back up. And the block assist to both Livoti and Murphy. And it's 11-6 Aggies. Desiree Scott serving for New Mexico State. Watson just kind of pushes it over. Comes to the outside. There's the attack by Livoti. Freitas. One's heading very far back. Got to get it over. Nash does, and now it hits off of the basketball hoop that's hanging up there, and the Broncs still managed to get it over. Nice job by Faison. Diving by the Broncs, trying to keep it up, and they do get it over. That's 2 in a row. The Broncs turn nothing into something, but the Aggies come up with the point anyway, and it's 12-6.
Serving for New Mexico State, number 14, Desiree Scott.
Desiree Scott back to serve again for the Aggies. Flat-footed, gets it over the net. Faison dives. Masaki. Watson. First hit by Ziegler. Third hit and the kill by Nash.
New Mexico State.
And it's 13-6 Aggies.
Substitution for UTPA, number 15, Corinne Aycock.
Masaki. Freitas. Faison dives. Merchant gets it up. A Corinna Cuff into the match. Sends it over. Now right down the middle. Lurch sends it in. And the Aggies with a 14-6 lead, and the Bronx use their second timeout. We'll take one as well. 14-6. You're watching Bronx Volleyball.
I want you to come see us today at your new Buick GMC dealer, South Texas Buick GMC.
Come test drive the all-new 2014 GMC Sierra and drive home for just $399 a month.
South Texas Buick GMC.
Welcome back out to the UTPA field. Alshona Goldberg riding with you. 14-6, New Mexico State here in the second set. Bronx took the first set 25-20. Freitas flips it over. Attack on the outside, Nash. Masaki sends it forward. Freitas back row. Set up by Levoti. And it's hit out by Nash. It's 14-7. And now a kill by Gwen Murphy. It's 15-7. Into the net. Bronx within 7. It's 15-8. Macy Singleton in for Corinna Cuff. Singleton to serve. Some fans chanting Macy, Macy. And a big block at the net by Watson and Durham. It's 15-9. Singleton runs forward and serves it into the net.
Point, New Mexico State.
And New Mexico State takes their 7-point lead back.
Substitutions for UTPA, number 15, Corinne Acock.
McCuff back in. Singleton takes the seat. Merchant is in. It's Merchant, Freitas, Watson, Masaki, Durham, Jonda. Those are the 6 now for UTPA. Nash back to serve for New Mexico State. Jonda on the attack, block to the net. Murphy and Ziegler in on it. And it's 17-9. One thing Coach Yale said during the pre-match show was the Bronx had to avoid going at their strong block. New Mexico State averages just over 2 blocks per set. Watson on the outside, gets it over the block, but it was deflected, killing some of the momentum of the shot. So Jonda, flat-footed, forces it over. There's the attack. Bronx tried to block it, but couldn't get it back over. So New Mexico State now up 18-9.
Serving for New Mexico State, number 9, Bradley Nash.
Bradley Nash serving again for New Mexico State. We've called her number a lot today. Saki sets it up. Durham on the outside, tries the attack. Tried to block it, and So it goes down the line, a point for the Aggies. It's 19-9.
Substitution for UTPA. Coming in is number 11, Casey Sanchez.
Casey Sanchez making her first appearance of the match. Alicia Watson takes a seat. Sanchez, the San Benito native, started the first match of the season, has been a role player since. Into the net.
UTPA.
Bronx within 9. Well, coming up in between matches, going to give you a sneak peek of Bronx Country, Bronx new television show, which will be making its debut in about a week and a half. Served into the net, 20-10, New Mexico State.
Substitution for UTPA, number 5, Angelica.
All the details surrounding the launch of Bronx Country will be released next week. We recorded a pilot last week to get the approval of stations that we were pitching it to. And obviously things went pretty well. So, we're going to show you a piece of the pilot that was recorded last week. The first part of which centers around the volleyball team and their 3 matches last weekend. Durham on the attack, down the line for the kill. Oh, it went out. 21-10 Aggies, that was close.
Point, New Mexico State.
It's actually 22-10. Huh? So 3 points more for the Aggies to tie up this match. Merchant second hit. Jonda on the attack. It's floated up. Another point for the Aggies.
New Mexico State.
Block by Scott and Lurch, and it's set point for New Mexico State. Served out. Bronx within 13 rather, 24-11. Now it's up to Anjane Jonda to serve.
Serving for UTPA, number 9, Anjane Jonda.
Ace.
Point UTPA.
24-12. Third hit comes on the outside by Ziegler. Now it's Freitas on the attack for the Rocks. By the net, there's the attack, Freitas again. Masaki sends it over. Attack, sent up by Jonda. Now Masaki on the outside, there's Durham. Up in the air towards the basketball hoop and misses it. Another hit up in the air, now a reverse bump to get it over. Vargas, Masaki, there's Freitas. And that one's sent out. 24-13. 3 straight for the Bronx. Jonda. Into the net. 24-14. Jonda serving again. And there it is. 25-14. And the match is tied at 1.
New Mexico State. Final score State 25, UTPA.
So that ties this matchup at 1 apiece. Bronx dropped the second set, 25-14. Well, we'll take a timeout. We got about 10 minutes until the start of set number 3 as they hit their break. When we come back, you'll get a sneak preview of Bronx Country, the Bronx new television show. This is Bronx Volleyball.
When it came to delivering my baby, I chose the Women's Hospital at Renaissance.
We're the only hospital dedicated exclusively for women in the Valley.
Everything here has been designed with mothers and babies in mind.
Classes in childbirth, nutrition, and beautiful private rooms.
The highest nurse-to-patient ratio in the Valley.
We deliver miracles every day.
Mika, this is our miracle.
The Women's Hospital at Renaissance. World-class healthcare here at home.
Dr. Pena, does LASIK surgery work?
LASIK surgery is America's most frequently performed elective procedure. In fact, I've helped thousands of patients see better.
Dr. Pena.
Call me Raulito.
Thousands and thousands. Raulito, are you sure?
Is that thing on?
Yes.
Follow me. I had to put him somewhere. It's a big project.
That's a lot of successful operations. Call Dr. Raulito Pena at 661-UC.
The phone keeps ringing. Gotta make room.
I want you to come see us today at your new Buick GMC dealer, South Texas Buick GMC.
Come test drive the all-new 2014 GMC Sierra and drive it home for just $399 a month.
South Texas Buick GMC.
The UTPA volleyball team off to a historic start. Could they keep the momentum alive before the start of WAC play? Take a trip to the U.S. Amateur Championship with Bronx Volleyball. The University of Texas Pan American joined the WAC over the summer, and the Broncos already know right at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. A few Bronx Pans made the trip. Opening serve, Maria Kleefolk with the kill. It's 1-0 Bronx. That's Krista Freitas serving. Kleefolk and De'Ara Reynolds combine for a block, and the Bronx have a 2-0 lead. The set by Nicole Masaki and the kill by Watson. It's 3-0 Bronx. Well, that. Later on, the Bronx 8-7. Merchant serving. That one's not coming back. Turned out even this weekend. More later. First, a block by Clark and Watson ties the set at 10 apiece. The Islanders go on to the Bronx 3-0. Positives from the Bronx come from Kleefolk, who had 7 kills, 3 blocks, and hit .375, and Nosheen Merchant, who had 20 digs and 2 aces. The Bronx drove right home after the again. The Bronx take a 10-1 lead. The Bronx had a season-high 12 aces, and although this next volley didn't lead to one, Maria Kleefolk finds the seam, and it's 11-1 Bronx. A little later on, it's 17-3. Alicia Watson with the left hand. 18-3 Bronx. Next serve, Macy Singleton. What a match she had. In playing time of the season, a season-high 18 digs, including one right here to lead to a Haley Durham kill. Makes it 9. Freshman Karina Cuff says, "Don't worry, I got this." Sends the Bronx to a 3-0 victory. Acuff played in multiple sets in a match for the first time, finishing with a career-high 6 kills while playing in front of her parents.
I was very proud because they haven't seen me really get as much action as I could have. And so now that they have finally been here to see that, I think they have really seen what they came to see.
She's gotten some moments here in the preseason, and she's taken advantage of them. Numbers night in and night out. That's that's tough to find some playing time. But she's going to have her chances this season. She's going to have her moments. There are going to be nights where the opponents are keying on Maria or Haley or both. And so Corinne's going to have to come in and show them something different. So today was important for her to get those reps and to get that familiarity with our team and just that game competition.
The Bronx got Sunday off, but visited Texas Southern on Monday and fell 3-1. Despite the loss, the Bronx are now 10-6, and head coach Brian Yale is happy with the team's strong start.
To be where we are coming out of preseason is a great step for this program. We set a pretty high goal for ourselves in preseason. We needed to play a lot of teams that we were going to see similar styles of, going into WAC play. And, we did that, and we were successful with it. And we also learned a lot from it in the matches that we lost. So, we're coming out in a good spot, and I'm really excited to get into WAC play.
The Bronx are tied for the second best start in program history and have already matched last season's win total. The Bronx have at least 17 matches remaining. The only better start, which was 40 years ago, ended with a postseason berth.
It's great to hear. It's encouraging. It tells me that we're heading in the right direction. But we also know we've got a lot of work to do, and so it continues that motivation is what it does. And that finally getting some validation this year with some of the things we've been doing. It only leaves us wanting more.
And here's how they've done it. Certainly Maria Kleefolk and Haley Durham have dominated in the middle, and there's been strong. The key stats a little bit is digs. No one Bronc is getting the majority of the first hits, and the spread out passing and increased back row depth have been a boon for the Bronx this season. Going deeper, though, Bronx sophomore Macy Singleton, a member of the vaunted back row rotation, thinks that part of the reason the Bronx have improved on the court is because they've improved off the court.
We're a whole new team this year for sure. The chemistry between everyone is so different, and I don't know, we have new players for sure. That definitely helps, and giving us a lot of confidence, so it helps in the games.
People are noticing that things are a little bit different down here, and so it does put a target on our back. In the past, I think people have kind of, we've been the underdog, and we're not necessarily that anymore.
If the Bronx want to keep it up, the journey starts Saturday when they host preseason favorite New Mexico State at 2 p.m. at the UTPA Fieldhouse in their first ever WAC contest. Doesn't get any easier from there, as the homestand continues Monday at 7 p.m. against Utah Valley, picked to finish third. And then later in the week against Idaho, picked to finish runner-up, and Seattle picked to finish fourth.
We have to execute kind of like we did today. We have to take care of our side of the net. We have to serve tough, keep teams out of system, and our blocking game has to be solid. We're not necessarily touching every ball, but we've got to take away that space so that it makes it easier on our defense. The teams we face are going to have some very tall players across the front row. New Mexico State's going to be big. There's a 6'5" All-American up at Seattle that's helping them, this preseason and do some things. So, the level of volleyball, the height of volleyball, I think it's a little.
A tip-off on the UTPA Bronx Instagram account. We're just 43 days away from tipping off the college basketball season. In fact, both Bronx basketball teams are just days away from starting full team practices. The men start tomorrow, and the women start Sunday.
You have a 42-day window to get 30 practices in. It allows you to kind of bring the kids along a little slower and maybe avoid some early injuries and, some of the bang-ups and different things you have trying to get a team ready. Now, you can go 2 on, 1 off, 3 on, 1 off, and kind of bring the kids along a little slower.
In the meantime, the Bronx able to take part in off-season workouts. Dan Hipsher.
Well, it's what it's called, individual.
Anderson to the coaching staff. Anderson comes to the Bronx from Lamar State College, Port Arthur, where he was an assistant coach for the men's basketball team last year. He spent the previous season at Paul Quinn College, where he doubled as associate head coach of the varsity team and head coach of the JV team. Bronx head coach Larry Tidwell is excited to have Anderson on board to round out the staff.
We're very happy to have added Anthony Anderson to our coaching staff. Anthony comes from a background of playing at Florida Thomas, and he's also already got in 3 years of college coaching. He's very active in the recruiting fields, and that's what we're after, is somebody that's very connected, because again, as I preach time and time again, it gets down to recruiting. Now, in the scheme of things, what he'll do in our basketball game plan is he's going to be responsible for a lot of guard play. He's going to be working out and doing a lot of developmental play with our guards and even our post players. He cut up film, video, tape, anything we need to do.
All of Anderson's college coaching experience has been with men, but he's not concerned about any potential difficulties in transitioning to the women's game.
Honestly, there is no difference. All I see when I see basketball is that basketball. I did a lot of strength and conditioning when I was at Lamar State, Port Arthur, and honestly, I don't see women nor men. All I see is the basketball. It's universal.
The Bronx open the season November 8th at home against Shriner. And right now, men's tickets start at $75. Welcome back out to the UTPA Fieldhouse. Jonah Goldberg riding with you. Opening of the third set. Bronx back on the right side, and the Aggies back on the left side in front of this season-high crowd of 939 fans. They've been raucous throughout, singing here at the beginning of the third set as Macy Singleton prepares to serve for UTPA out there with Freitas, Masaki, Jonda, Watson, and Durham. And New Mexico State hits the first ball out. And the Bronx take a 1-0 lead. Bronx took the first set 25-20, dropped the second set 25-14, but they scored, 4 or 5 straight before New Mexico State won it when it was on their set point. 2-0 Bronx. Certainly a good sign. Singleton back to serve again for the Bronx. Gets airborne, sends it over the net. Third hit goes down the line, and it just stays in. That was close, and it's 2-1. It would have been cool to be a fly on the wall in the locker rooms just then. New Mexico State made adjustments going into the second set, and they went from dropping the first set to walking away with the second set. What adjustments do the Bronx make here in set number 3? Watson left hand. Gets back over the net. Misaki sets it up high for Jonda. She hits it into the net. And New Mexico State ties the set up at 2 apiece. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the sneak preview of Bronx Country. You saw most of the A block. That's what it's called. The opening segment, basically. Freitas scrapes the net. And the Bronx get the point. It's 3-2. Other stories in the pilot show. Well, actually, there were some feature stories that we teased at the beginning of the show and that are rather timeless, so you'll actually be able to see those when the first episode runs. And don't worry if you're not in an area that will be picking up the show, as we'll also be posting it on our YouTube channel. All of our sports will be covered. Lots of great feature stories, too, so you'll want to see them. So stay tuned to UTPABronx.com sometime this week. We'll announce the plans. I'll just tell you that it's coming. The first episode, not including the pilot, is not this coming week, but the week after. Jonda hits it out. And New Mexico State has a 4-3 lead.
So exciting times here at UTPA. First WAC match. Start of a TV show. Saw our AD at UTPA_AD on Twitter, Chris King, saying the other day about how we're working on a TV deal for some live men's basketball games. But we're moving forward pretty quickly here. What can I say? Bronc Country just got a whole lot bigger. Welcome to the WAC. New Mexico State back to serve up 2. Right down the middle. How about Merchant keeping that one up? New Mexico State's gotten a bunch of points down the middle, but Merchant did a nice job of stopping it. New Mexico State does recover to get the point. It's 6-3. Jordan Reefsteck back. Merchant down on one knee. Masaki sets it up. Durham on the attack, and that's blocked to the net. Stuffed by Scott and Ziegler. And it's 7-3 Aggies. Well, it was 7-2 in the first set. The Broncs came back to win it. 7-4 in the second set. The Aggies walked away with it. Here in the third set, it's 7-3. Aggies have taken a good lead each of the first set, each set. Durham on the attack. Picked alive by the Aggies, comes to the left side. And Ziegler. Masaki, Jonda. Hits it out. 8-3 Aggies.
Substitution for UTPA. Entering is number 11.
AC Sanchez in for the Broncs. Anjane Jonda takes a seat. There was so much emotion, so much energy in that first set, and New Mexico State has taken a lot of that back. With a commanding second set, now an early third set lead is a service ace for Jordan Reefsteck. Forces the Broncs to call a timeout. Down 9-3. You're watching Broncs Volleyball.
When it came to delivering my baby, I chose the Women's Hospital at Renaissance.
We're the only hospital dedicated exclusively for women in the Valley.
Everything here has been designed with mothers and babies in mind.
Classes in childbirth, nutrition, and beautiful private rooms.
The highest nurse-to-patient ratio in the Valley.
We deliver miracles every day.
Mika, this is America.
The Women's Hospital at Renaissance. World-class healthcare here at home.
Dr. Pena, does LASIK surgery work?
LASIK surgery is America's most frequently performed elective procedure. In fact, I've helped thousands of patients see better.
Dr. Pena.
Call me Raulito.
Thousands and thousands. Raulito, are you sure?
Is that thing on?
Yes.
Follow me. I had to put him somewhere. It's a big project.
That's a lot of successful operations. Call Dr. Raulito Pena at 661-UC.
The phone keeps ringing. Got him.
Back underway. Sanchez's attack is stuffed at the net, and it's 10-3 Aggies. Aggies are using their size. The blocks are even. New Mexico State now up 11-3. Broncs with 12 block assists. So 6 total blocks. New Mexico State with 10 block assists, 2 block solos. So 7 total blocks, but it just seems that the size of New Mexico State on the front row has been pretty big recently. Second here in the third set. We would need a better breakdown of the blocks of when they've come. It's 12-3. The front row has been tough. New Mexico State's hitting percentage, it's just 60. 171 now. Bronx, though, at 063.
Serving for New Mexico State, number 16, Jordan White.
Attack errors are pretty even. 13 for the Aggies, 16 for the Bronx. Kills, 26 for the Aggies, 21 for the Bronx. 13-3. It's a 10-point New Mexico State advantage. 9 service errors for the Bronx, 6 for the Aggies. When you look down the line, it doesn't seem that big a difference, but that hitting percentage is making a difference. So the Bronx call another timeout. We'll step aside, down 10.
I want you to come see us today at your new Buick GMC dealer, South Texas Buick GMC.
Come test drive the all-new 2014 GMC Sierra and drive it home for just $399 a month.
South Texas Buick GMC.
Well, look at some of the crowd behind me. I realize our camera shoots into the closed-off section. To give you an idea of how packed this place is. Bronx down 13-3 here in the third set.
Serving for New Mexico State, number 16.
New Mexico State, by the way, they're on an 11-0 run. It was 3-2 Bronx. It's 13-3 Aggies now. That pointed out to me by our intrepid beat reporter from the Monitor, the local newspaper, Josh Bowe, and the Bronx snapped the run right there and then. 13-4.
Substitution for UTPA, number 12, Kristen Freitas.
Jay Jonda serving for UTPA. The attack sent over, and it's 14-4. There's that 10-point lead again for New Mexico State.
Substitution for UTPA, number 1, Shanice Faison.
Shanice Faison in for UTPA. Faison, Freitas, Merchant, Watson, Durham, Masaki. Really stacking the back there. Now they get a little more traditional. Watson. Her hit just didn't get it high enough. Nobody able to react. And it's 15-4 New Mexico State.
Serving for New Mexico State, number 24, Lauren Lert. Point, New Mexico State.
16-4. Litch gets airborne on the serve. Freitas. The attack and the kill, Lauren Lurch. And it's a 13-point Aggies advantage. Lurch back to serve again. Masaki tried to just force it over instead of setting it up, and she hit it into the net. Score from around the conference. Grand Canyon just closed out Chicago State 3-2. Freitas makes it 18-5. Here the Bronx and Aggies tied at 1, but the third set has been all New Mexico State. Into the net. 18-6. Bronx fans starting to get a little louder, looking for something to cheer on, and maybe their energy can help spur on the Bronx to some kind of comeback. Watson, Masaki. There's Kleefolk in the middle. I've not seen a lot of Kleefolk in the match today. Freitas on the attack. Yes! 18-7. Bronx have played really well when Kleefolk's been out there. Merchant, flat-footed serve. The attack and the kill. It's 19-7.
Substitution for New Mexico State, number 10, Sierra Brown, and number 8.
Stephanie Ziegler back to serve for New Mexico State.
Serving is number 15.
Two subs for the Aggies. Bradley Nash now in the front with Presley Alexander and Desiree Scott. Bronx with an 11. In the back. As Reef Stick. Ziegler. And Nash gets that first hit. Kleefolk, Masaki, Kleefolk on the attack, blocked to the net.
Point, New Mexico State.
And it's 20-8, Aggies.
Serving for New Mexico State, number 14, Desiree Scott.
The Aggies came out looking to make a statement in these second and third sets. When Murphy helping to do it right there.
Substitution for New Mexico State.
The Aggies, the preseason favorites. The defending WAC champs. The Bronx, though, had the highest winning percentage in the conference entering today's action. The only 10-win team. While the Bronx and Alicia Watson trying to show everybody that they deserve to be looked at as that number one team in the WAC. The Aggies, on the other hand, are trying to show everyone that they're still the preseason favorites. Serve into the net.
Point, New Mexico State. Substitution for New Mexico State, number 2, Taylor Lavodi, and number 24, Lauren Lurch.
Taylor Lavodi comes in for New Mexico State to serve. Lauren Lurch also back in. Lavodi serves it out. 10-point set. Two teams with targets on the back. The Bronx, because of their historic start, tied for the second best in program history and the best as an NCAA Division I program. The Aggies, because, hey, they're the defending champs. The first set, the Bronx were able to take it 25-20, but since then the Aggies have been in total control. Bronx get another point, 21-12. Singleton gets airborne. There's the third hit. It goes out. Oh, it stayed in. Really? Okay. 22-12, another close one along the line. They have a much better view than I do, so I'll not argue.
Serving for New Mexico State, number 9, Bradley
Nash. Merchant. Masaki. There's Watson. Hits off the block. Well, there's the attack, and there's another kill for Gwen Murphy, and it's 23-12. Murphy now with 6 kills. Second on the team with Scott behind Lurch, who has 8. And the Bronx get a kill of their own. It's 23-13. Bronx led by Jonda, who has 7. Freitas and Watson each with 6. Durham 5, Clefolk 3. Freitas, Masaki. Durham comes to the outside. There's the block attempt, kept up by the Aggies. They get over the block this time. Merchant. Masaki sets it up. This time it's Jonda on the left. Yes! It's a 9-point set. Alicia Watson back to serve. Into the net. 23-15. And with the Bronx on a little bit of a run, the Aggies call for timeout. We'll take one as well. Bronx trying to make a late comeback. This is Bronx Volleyball.
Here comes Reynolds. Yes! Tori wide open 3. Swinging a liner past the third baseman into left field. The base hit. Brooklyn.
Brave and bold, silver and gold.
We're on a mission. Aggie up.
Country just got a lot bigger.
Mighty Wolverines of UVU.
Lopes up.
Bold moves, big season, grew up.
We are the new gold standard.
We will be champions.
The Western Athletic Conference.
Welcome back out to the UTPA Fieldhouse. Jonah Goldberg riding with you. Third set, match tied at 1. The Bronx down 8. Attack on the outside. Ziegler with the kill. And it's set point for New Mexico State. Jordan Reefsteck back to serve. And try and give the Aggies a 2-1 lead. Haley Durham having none of it. 24-16, and the Bronx get the serve back. And it's up to Anjane Jonda. She's got to win 8 straight serves, at least. Masaki, Durham. Bronx think they have it. They do. It's a 7-point set. On set point last time, I think the Bronx won, 5 straight points? They had a bigger deficit to deal with that time. There's the block, but it goes out. And the Bronx fall 25-17. In set number 2, the Bronx now trail the match 2-1. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll fire up the 4th set. Must win for the Bronx. You're watching Bronx Volleyball.
When it came to delivering my baby, I chose Hospital Renaissance.
Only hospital dedicated exclusively for women in the Valley.
Everything here has been designed with mothers and babies in mind.
Classes in childbirth, nutrition, and beautiful private rooms.
The highest nurse-to-patient ratio in the Valley.
We deliver miracles every day.
Nika, this is our miracle.
Women's Hospital at Renaissance. World-class healthcare here at home.
Dr. Pena, does LASIK surgery work?
LASIK surgery is America's most frequently performed procedure. In fact, I've helped thousands of patients see better.
Dr. Pena.
Call me Raulito.
Thousands and thousands. Raulito, are you sure?
Is that thing on?
Yes.
Follow me. I had to put him somewhere. It's a big project.
That's a lot of successful operations. Call Dr. Rolito Pena at 661-UC.
The phone keeps ringing. Gotta make room.
I want you to come see us today at your new Buick GMC dealer, South Texas Buick GMC.
Come test drive the all-new 2014 GMC Sierra and drive it home for just $399 a month.
South Texas Buick GMC. Swinging a liner past the third baseman into left field, the base hit. Bronx
win! Brave and bold, silver and gold.
We're on a mission. Aggie up.
Bronx country just got a whole lot bigger.
Mighty Wolverines of UVU.
Join the herd. Lopes up.
Bold moves, big season, grew up.
We are the new gold standard.
We will be champions.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
Welcome back out to the UTPA Fieldhouse. Jonah Goldberg riding with you. We go to set number 4. And the Bronx find themselves down 2-1. Took the first set 25-20. Dropped the second set 25-14. And the third set 25-17. And now as they switch sides of the court, New Mexico State on the right, the Bronx on the left. The Aggies will try and close it out while the Bronx will try to force a decisive 5th set. Taylor Lavoti, Freitas, Masaki, Freitas again. Kept up. Now in the middle, Ziegler. Freitas on the attack. Lavoti on the outside, Nash. Masaki. Freitas for the third attack of the point of the volley. Got it! Well, first you don't succeed, try again. If it's second you don't succeed, try again. Words to live by. So Nosheen Merchant back to serve for UTPA. Merchant, Faison, Watson, Kleefolk, Freitas, Masaki for the Bronx. Hits off the block, and because of that, nobody able to get there. Gonna hit off the fingertips, and that ties it up at 1. Bradley Nash. Flat-footed comes to Faison. Kleefolk on the attack from the side. Now off the block. Faison and Watson bump into each other. Merchant gets it up. Over to Freitas. The Bronx reset. Now the attack gets past the diving Faison, and it's 2-1 Aggies. Bradley Nash. Freitas. Kleefolk with a little tap. It's 3-1 Aggies. Start of a 4-match homestand for UTPA. Kleefolk just out of her reach, but she gets it over. Faison. Misaki Kleefolk again. Kept up by the Aggies, and they can't get it over the net. 3-2. Bronx take on Utah Valley. Last year's Grade West Conference champion. Against whom the Bronx nearly pulled off an upset at home. Had a 2-0 lead in the match. And got to match point before falling 3-2. That's Monday at 7 p.m. Then Seattle and Idaho come in Thursday, Friday.
Substitution for New Mexico State, number 14, Desiree Scott.
4-2 Aggies. Desiree Scott with the serve now for NM State, New Mexico State. Check that. That's Jordan Reefstack. Desiree Scott had just come in. Watson blocked. Kept up on the outside and out. 5-2 Aggies.
Serving is number 16, Jordan Reifsteck.
Jordan Reifsteck with the serve. Kleefolk on the attack. Reifsteck hits it up towards the ceiling. The third hit is the attack by Ziegler. Kleefolk in the middle. She's just swinging away here in the fourth set. Faison. Kleefolk again. Got it. Well, I think we see what the Bronx game plan is. Get the ball to Kleefolk. She's been one of the Bronx best performers all season long, and she's been consistent. Ooh. Desiree Scott. I think that sums it up. There's the jump float by Lurch. Saki sets it up. Jonda tried to just tap it over, but couldn't get it in the right direction. It was just a little out of her reach, and it's 7-3 Aggies. Same score was in the third set. Bronx hoping for a different outcome. Into the net. 8-3.
Substitution for UTPA, number 11, Casey Sanchez.
Casey Sanchez back in for UTPA. Freitas pass it forward. Misaki sets it up. There's Jonda on the attack. 8-4.
Substitutions for UTPA, number 14, Haley Durham, and number 10, Macy Singleton. Singleton is serving.
Macy Singleton in to serve for UTPA. Attack comes from the outside, and it just stays in by Ziegler. 9-4.
Substitution for UTPA, number 7, Nasheen Merchant.
Sheen Merchant back in for the Bronx. Singleton takes a seat. Ziegler serving. Merchant. Masaki. Sanchez gets blocked in the middle.
Point, New Mexico State.
And it's 10-4 Aggies.
Also substitution for UTPA number 8, Maria Clifford.
Durham in the middle. The attack and the kill for New Mexico State. 11-4. And Bronx is going to call a timeout. We'll take one as well. It's a fourth set. It's already a 7-point advantage for New Mexico State.
Here comes Reynolds. Yes! Torrey wide open three. Swinging a liner past the third baseman into left field. The base hit. Bronx
win. Brave and bold, silver and gold.
We're on a mission. Aggie up.
Bronx country just got a whole lot bigger.
Wolverines and UVU.
Join the herd. What's up?
Bold moves, big season, grew up.
We are the new gold standard.
We will be champions.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
Welcome back out to the UTPA Fieldhouse. Jonah Goldberg riding with you. Bronx down 7 in the fourth set. Down 1 in the match. Jonda on the attack. And it's 12-4. You know, one thing that's interesting to look at, we talk about how much emotion and energy there was in the first set. The other thing was there weren't a lot of timeouts. You had the media timeout at the 15-point mark. New Mexico State called the timeout late in the set. That was it. And you wonder if just all that constant play got to the Bronx. I don't know. I mean, they're very well conditioned. I mean, how many times did they play in those tournaments? They played in 3 tournaments this year. Twice had 4 matches in 2 days, and both of those times took 3 out of 4. But the Aggies have just been bringing it start to finish, and although the Bronx were able to match it in the first set, these last 2.5 sets. It's really been all Aggies. Desiree Scott back to serve. Vargas on the first hit. Masaki. There's Durham. Durham on the attack. Jonda on the attack. And the Bronx pick up the point.
Substitution for UTPA, number 1, Shanice Faison.
Shanice Faison in, replacing Ajay Jonda. Scrapes the net. Attack on the outside by Nash. Freitas tried to get it over. She does. Now it's at the net. Freitas gets airborne. Now Durham. Masaki sets it up. Here comes Freitas again. And that is not coming back. Don't look now. Here come the Bronx. It's a 6-point set. Faison serves out.
Point, New Mexico State.
Lodi serving New Mexico State. There's the attack by Murphy. Bronx keep it up. Freitas. It's out.
Point New Mexico State.
15-7. Durham on the side. Got it. 15-8.
Substitution for UTPA, number 8,
Maria Clefo, again, Haley Durham. Breathe. So in the front with Freitas. On Merchant, Vargas in the back. And out that goes. Bronx within 6.
Serving for UTPA, number 7, Nelson Merchant.
Shane Merchant back to serve for the Bronx. First hit sends it over. Misaki tried to flick it over at the net, but she did not see Lauren Lurch, who was set up perfectly, looking for that. And it's 16-9. Nash. Freitas. There's the attack. Now on the outside, Ziegler. 17-9. The Aggies have silenced what was once a raucous Bronx crowd. You can still hear a little noise coming from the faithful, but it's compared to the energy of the first set, it hasn't been as much right now. Got to get it over for the Aggies. Lurch does, and the Bronx cannot get it back over. It's 18-9, and the Bronx will spend their final fourth set timeout. We'll take one as well, 18-9.
When it came to delivering my baby, I chose the Women's Hospital at Renaissance.
We're the only hospital dedicated exclusively for women in the Valley.
Everything here has been designed with mothers and babies in mind.
Classes in childbirth, nutrition, and uterus.
The highest nurse-to-patient ratio in the Valley.
We deliver miracles every day.
Mika, this is our miracle.
The Women's Hospital at Renaissance. World-class healthcare.
Dr. Pena, does LASIK surgery work?
Surgery is America's most frequently performed elective procedure. In fact, it's helped thousands of patients see better.
Dr. Pena.
Call me Raulito.
Thousands and thousands. Raulito, are you sure?
Is that thing on?
Yes.
I had. It's a big project.
That's a lot of successful operations. Call Dr. Rolito Pena at 661-UC.
The phone keeps ringing. Gotta make room.
I want you to come see us today at your new Buick GMC dealer, South Texas Buick GMC.
Come test drive the all-new 2014 GMC Sierra and drive it home for just $399 a month.
South Texas GMC.
Welcome back out to the UTPA Fieldhouse. Jonah Goldberg riding with you. 18-9 New Mexico State here in the fourth set. Bronx are going to need to go on some kind of run to force a decisive fifth set. Bradley Nash serving for the Aggies. Well, that one heads for our stats crew. I give Danny Elizondo, my intrepid assistant, a lot of credit right there. He saw the ball right near him, and he did not take his fingers off that keyboard to make sure the stats kept going. I would have ducked. The Bronx get 2 in a row within 7.
Number 3, Nicole
So Nicole Masaki to serve for the Bronx. And that one just saps itself over the net. Sanchez, Masaki, Freitas on the outside, sends it back. Nash, on the left side, Ziegler, blocked to the net. Back row, Ziegler, Merchant, Masaki, Kleefolk down the middle. Lavota keeps it up. Faison. Casey Sanchez. Got it! Sanchez from San Benito. Just about 45 minutes down the road, and although she hasn't gotten a ton of playing time this season, contributes there with the kill. The Bronx within 6. Point for the Aggies.
Substitution for New Mexico State, number 24, Lauren Lurch. Correction, number 14, Desiree Scott.
Desiree Scott, check that. Jordan Reefsteck back to serve. Kleefolk hits it into the net. And it's 20-12.
Serving for New Mexico State, number 16, Jordan Reifstead.
Aggies 5 points from taking the match. Bronx need 13 to force a 5th set. Faison. Freitas. Set up near me. Sent back towards the net. Kleefolk gets it up. Sanchez with the set. Attack by Freitas is blocked. And point for New Mexico State. There was a double hit on the Bronx, and I think that was on Kleefolk earlier in it. If they're calling what I think they're calling, I'm pretty sure.
Point New Mexico State.
It's the correct call. I saw it. Reefsteck. Freitas into the net.
New Mexico State.
22-12.
Substitution for UTPA.
Corinna Cuff in for the Bronx. Maria Kleefolk takes a seat. Reefsteck back to serve. The Aggies libero. Faison. Masaki, Sanchez, blocked to the net. Masaki keeps it up. Freitas hits it over. Going way back, Lavoti to pick it up. Merchant gets it up. Masaki to the outside, Freitas. Can't get it over. 23-12. UTPA cheerleaders and Blazers dance team trying to get the crowd back into it with a chant. Into the net. Bronx within 10.
Substitution for UTPA, number 9 on Rane Janda.
That snaps a 5-0 run. Anjane Janda into the match for UTPA. Casey Sanchez hits it over with her back to the net. Kill by Desiree Scott. And it's match point for the Aggies.
Substitution for New Mexico State, number 13, Natalie Castellanos.
Merchant. Janda block to the net. There it is. That's the match. Bronx dropped the fourth set 25-13 and fall in the match 3-1.
Thank you, fans, for coming out this afternoon. Don't forget to join us Monday, September 30th at 7 p.m. when the Bronx face.
Well, the Bronx had a great first set. Jumped out to the 1-0 lead. All that energy, all that momentum, all the emotion. That made it 25-20, and after that point, the Aggies just took over and showed everybody why they were picked number 1 in the coaches poll and why they are the defending Western Athletic Conference champions. Let's take a look at some of the final numbers. We'll start with the visiting Aggies. Match high 13 kills for Lauren Lurch. 267 hitting percentage, 6 digs, 5 blocks to lead, well, to tie for the match high and had the team lead, 2 aces as well. 9 kills for Desiree Scott with 9 blocks. 316 hitting percentage for Scott. What a match she had. 8 kills for Gwen Murphy, 3 digs, 2 blocks. 5 kills for Bradley Nash, 12 digs. 7 kills for Stephanie Ziegler with 14 digs. Reifstick also had 14 digs. Also had 3 kills for Coates. Aggies as a team hit 203 in the match. As for the Bronx, Anjane Janda led the way with 10 kills and 4 digs. 8 kills each for Krista Freitas, who had 6 digs, and Haley Durham. Alicia Watson, 6 kills, 5 digs, 2 blocks. Maria Kleefolk, 5 kills, 3 blocks. 1 kill for Casey Sanchez. Bronx as a team hit 064. The Aggies improved to 6-8, 1-0 in WAC play. The Bronx fall to 10-7, and they're now 0-1 in WAC play. Well, the Bronx continue this 4-match homestand. On Monday, 7 p.m., the Bronx host Utah Valley, the defending, or I guess you can't call them the defending anymore because there is no more Great West Conference, but they are the Great West Conference, the former Great West Conference champs. They won it last year. At 7 o'clock, start 6:50 with your pregame. If you're in the Valley, we hope to see you out here. If so, admission is complimentary and doors open at 6. If not, we'll be on the air with you here on 956sports.com at 6:50 p.m. The link up at utpabronx.com. And then, of course, the Bronx Thursday against Idaho, Friday against Seattle, both at 7 p.m. That'll do it for us from the UTPA Fieldhouse. I'd like to thank everybody out there for tuning in. This has been a presentation of Bronx Volleyball. For more information, you can log on to utpabronx.com. If you'd ever like to reach us, send an email. Contact information's up on the website under Inside Athletics. Click on Staff Directory. But for now, for Jim Bob Sides in the control room, Romeo Villarreal running the camera, and Jack Falla, wherever you are, this is Jonah Goldberg saying good night from the UTPA, or good day really, from the UTPA Fieldhouse. Bronx fall 3-1.